Ooh. Bloop, 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 bloop. Bloop. What? Hey YouTubers, today I want to bring you a video that I kind of spliced together in my free time in preparation for a film editing class I have coming up, and it's been a while since I've touched Premiere or Final Cut, so be gentle, but so I was inspired to actually splice this all together by the Downton Abbey Christmas Special that recently aired. And as someone who's watched every episode of Downton and watches a lot of TV shows, this one inspired me in a way that not many shows do. I'm a huge Game of Thrones fan. I love The Wire. I love basically any show on premium cable. But this one, you know, this show's not even my favorite show, but this particular episode just was so well done, and maybe it was because my Christmas wasn't that great, and this was kind of like an excellent way to top it off. But yeah, I thought I'd throw this together, so without further ado, let's get into number 10.
I think we should wait a few minutes.
He's right.
Stone? Who is this?
God almighty.
What is it? What's happened?
What the hell is she doing here?
What's her name? Tell me her name.
What?
Tell me her name and I'll save you.
Diana. Diana Clark.
Diana? I don't believe you. I never thought you'd make it. So this is my friend, Diana Clark.
Oh.
She said that she'd be in the neighbourhood and I asked her to look in if she had any time.
We must stay for tea. And what's this little chap called?
Daniel.
Daniel. But how extraordinary. That's Lord Cinderby's name. Will you come with me?
So here we have Rose, who, since meeting Atticus, has not gotten anything but flack from Atticus's father, and she just steps up to save the day and saves him from a shitload of embarrassment. Awesome moment, you know. She definitely not something that I expected, nor did I expect that situation to arise anyway. That's a pretty low blow, even for Barrow, but I guess it just teaches you not to mess with him. And, you know, definitely not the best moment, but worthy of the top 10 in my opinion. Rolling into number 9, I think this one speaks for itself. Let's roll the tape. All right, let's try overlapping them. Interesting. I bet you if I knew how to remove the background music from the Downton clip and tested you, you wouldn't be able to tell which one's which. After listening to it 40 times, I wouldn't be able to tell which one's which. Kind of interesting.
Indeed. So, may I taste it? Thank you.
I warned you, my lady.
It is delicious.
It can't be. That's not possible.
There's a point, Sprat, where malice ceases to be amusing. Thank you, Denker, very much. I'm not hungry enough to do your soup justice this evening. Let us save its delights for another day.
Whatever you wish, Your Ladyship.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Just when you thought Danker was about to have her do. Okay. So at number 8, here comes the Dowager to save the day. Champ as always, you know. I just love how the old lady has rubbed off on her servants, and they're bickering amongst themselves. I mean, what else do they really have to do? There's no games. They can't watch Downton Abbey themselves. I mean, what do they do for entertainment? They pick on each other. And while I would have liked to have seen Denker get her do a little bit more after the last episode when she was, you know, kind of playing, what's his nuts? Barrow and the other guy, you know, taking him to the bar, trying to use him to get free drinks. This episode's just all really about feel good for the most part. And while we might not like Denker, we dislike Sprout a lot more. And, you know, credit to, his name here somewhere, credit to Jeremy Swift for just making it so we love to hate him. It's just some of those faces that he pulls off, you know? It's excellent. 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 So now on to number 7.
I wonder whether I might have some wine.
You've not had any? Stowe, what's the matter with you? What the devil's going on? Rachel, explain this.
Explain what?
Why am I not being given anything decent to eat?
I don't know. Stowe?
It was your lordship's order.
What are you talking about? What is the matter with you tonight?
Mr. Daunt left a note for the cook saying you'd asked...
I never said a thing to Daunt. And why are you so rude to Mr. Branson?
Really, there's no need
The
for it.
cook told me you had requested simple...
Stowe, someone's played a joke on us. And when you got the note, did it look like Daunt's writing?
I never saw the note. And obviously, Mrs. Brennan is not familiar...
What? Do you dare to use the word obviously when you contradict me? Now take this away, fetch me some dinner, and conduct yourself more professionally in the future. And bring that back, you stupid fool.
We're not shooting tomorrow, so would you like to see the estate?
What fun that would be, don't you think so, Robert?
Goodness.
He just gets so rattled by things.
I'm not very keen on your butler, so I'm afraid I rather enjoyed it.
Well, maybe, but Stone's a proud chap. He won't find that easy to forgive.
I don't think Barrow will much like being called a stupid fool.
Name one show, besides Game of Thrones, because I know some of you will go there, that emphasizes the dinner scene so much and makes dinner scenes so exciting. I'm referring to, of course, the first dinner scene with the Jew father, Jew dad, Jew bear, however you want to refer to him. I can't remember his name right now, but he goes crazy on Stoll. I somehow remember the butler's name. And then proceeds to lash out at Barrow as well, which is never good. This scene was pretty intense and pretty exciting. And not only that, but just the music, the set production, the sound. It's amazing where this show goes with just the dinner scenes. They're always sitting, people not next to their spouses, but next to someone else. So you always have stimulating conversation and just a brilliant flow of narrative. And I would have positioned this one higher, but this episode was pretty much packed to the brim with awesome parts. So let's roll on. Number 6. This one doesn't get a video clip, but I just wanted to exaggerate how exciting it is to get these Christmas specials that are so long. They're longer than some theatrical releases. Just when you think this episode could end or be over by normal runtime standards, bam! Christmas still hasn't happened. They go back to Downton for Christmas. I thought that was excellent. I actually checked the timestamp and saw there was still like 30 minutes left as I was watching it, and was just blown away. I got a huge smile on my face. I was excited that it wasn't over yet. I don't know how they do it, you know, every year. I don't know. Obviously, the show's immensely popular, so budgeting probably not as much of an issue, but it gets me excited for an actual movie, what they would do to actually go all out for a theatrical release. I don't know what this one says about me. I've always liked Mosley, but there was always just been something a little off about him. And when he asked for Mr. Bates's key, I don't know. I guess my mind went to the dark side almost immediately because I expected him to not have the best intentions. And obviously he already told Mr. Bates that he would do anything he could to help earlier on in the episode. Again, don't know why my mind went there. But yeah, I guess I'm just glad that he was actually good intentioned in helping out. And I guess you could count this moment as also when they went in and explained how they went to, what was it, 70, 80 bars. Like, that was pretty heartwarming. I'm not going to show that clip, though. I'm going to show this one because let's just all take a big sigh of relief that Mosley's not some weird sociopathic serial killer.
You. And I suppose that must be pretty similar.
Great minds think alike.
What do you say we take a moment to think of Sybil? We're the three left on Earth who loved her the most.
Her Mama and Papa.
But we were the three who should have grown old with her.
That's true.
And who knows when we'll be together again.
Darling Sybil, wherever you are, we send you all our love and kisses for the happiest of happy Christmases.
Sibby's last Christmas in this house. The house where she was born.
Don't say that. We'll be back.
You wouldn't consider leaving her here until you'd settled in?
No, I would not.
No.
But I love the way you love her.
We must go down. They're arriving.
I honestly feel like I'm more sad than any of the cast of Downton Abbey that Alan Leach is leaving his role as Tom Branson. As a fellow Irishman, much better looking, I know. Ladies, please. I feel that his portrayal is definitely one of the top three. Started off as a chauffeur. I don't want to say worked his way up by marrying Sybil, but got his golden ticket and then proved himself 10 times over. Well-mannered, well-respected by people who've come from much higher up on the food chain. I love Tom. Tom's an awesome character. I really wish that Edith and him maybe would have expanded just slightly more. I feel like their relationship is definitely implied, but not shown as much as I would have liked. Hopefully he really does come back. And Mary, by the way, just dropping hints left and right, like that he might not be going. Tom's all about adamancy and just wanting to leave. I think she said at least twice, like, it's undecided if he's actually leaving. I feel like that was the biggest middle finger to Tom fans because we are waiting. We're eagerly anticipating whether or not he's going to leave. And Mary just keeps, baiting us a little bit, giving us more reasons to hate her. I mean, Mary, there's a reason you're not in the top 10, all right? Like, you really don't have that many great moments. I mean, you're a fun character. Don't get me wrong. The show would be lost without you. And I don't know. I can't stand Mary, but I digress.
Who knows what the future may hold, or how much longer we'll even be here. Suppose you want to move away and change your life entirely. You don't want to be stuck with me.
But that's the point.
What is?
I do want to be stuck with you.
I'm not convinced I can be hearing this right.
You are, if you think I'm asking you to marry me.
knock me down with a feather.
And you're not offended?
Mr. Carson, I can assure you, the very last thing in the world that I am at this moment is offended.
You can take as long as you like. I won't press you, because one thing I do know. I'm not marrying anyone else.
Well then,
What exactly are we celebrating?
we're celebrating the fact that I can still get a proposal at my age.
And that's it?
Of course, I'll marry you, you old booby. I thought you'd never ask.
To be a fly on the wall during the filming of this sequence, man, I would have loved to see that, because there was so much emotion. And I know this is going to be number one for a lot of people, and it really was an internal debate, but don't let that take away from the fact, this being number 3, don't let it take away from the fact that this scene was excellent, just amazingly executed. The dialogue, the acting, Jim Carter as Mr. Carson shows so much emotion. Man, I'm a 24-year-old heterosexual male, contrary to the Clay Aiken quote earlier, that honestly got so misty-eyed at this scene, and I'm not even afraid to share that. Just the idea that these two, Mr. Carson and Mrs. Hughes, also expertly acted out by Phyllis Logan. It speaks volumes to how the times have changed. Here are two older people in a older generation, many years past now, and the most they've ever done with one another is hold hands and walk into water, at least on screen that we've seen. You know, we haven't seen any kissing. We haven't seen any, I don't want to say any emotion, but we haven't seen any physicality or anything like that that would really speak to someone getting married these days. And I think it's just a testament to how far we've come and how far we need to go if we're going to come around to full circle and kind of really just bring back the importance of marriage. I mean, these two work together every day. They know each other better than anyone else. I mean, they're perfect for each other, and I'm glad that the wish fulfillment came true with these two. I know a lot of people were craving for it, and myself included. You know, everything worked out, and it was an extremely beautiful moment, beautiful scene, and I don't know, just thinking about it now, I hope one day we can come back to that and build tight bonds, and marriage is based on true love and not just love based on physical, raw, honeymoon phase passion. So
Happy Christmas.
We'll worry about everything else later. But for now, let's just have a very happy Christmas.
too late to edit now. Too far gone into this to really mess around with it. Okay, I could. It wouldn't be that hard, but I'm thinking maybe this one and number 3 should be switched. I think the reason number 2 got so high up for me was just the fact that it ended so well with the door closing on its own. Mr. Bates, suave as ever. Okay, I take that back. He's normally not too suave, but just setting the cane down on the railing, walking up and going in for the hug, coming out of the shadows, telling her to be quiet and just have a happy Christmas. Talk about more wish fulfillment. I mean, come on, like, just a sliver of any one of these moments in a show like Game of Thrones would just be unheard of. This show, a lot of times people get killed off that you don't like. A lot of times good things don't happen. This episode is all-encompassing of just what you want, I think, out of a Christmas episode. This moment was just another amazingly well-shot, beautiful, amazingly well-acted. Yeah, I mean, not really much else to say. I have a soft spot for guys with canes ever since watching Sherlock Holmes. And, yeah, that continues the trend on with Mr. Bates.
Why didn't you show it to me before this? It's been months.
Well, I've shown you now.
You must know I resent Larry's treatment of you very much. Things can never be good between us again.
But it will not involve me.
And nothing will make you change your mind?
I'm afraid not. But I will always think of you with great affection and wish you nothing but the best.
Well, that sounds more final than if you'd spat in my eye. I love you, Isabel Crawley. I know it's not enough. I know I'm old and played out. But I do love you with my whole heart.
You're not played out. And it means a great deal to me. But I will not poison what years we have left by setting you against your children.
Oh. Have I interrupted a lover's tryst?
All right, so contrary to what you might be thinking about me just trying to shake things up and put number 1 as some sort of shock factor so people can just disagree with it, I want to just stop you right there and say that this is a list of my personal top 10 moments, and this one, bar none, takes the cake. While all the other ones were more emotionally driven and fueled by just raw wish fulfillment, this one is not only well acted, but, well, right after watching it, immediately I thought, man, I wish I could run into Penelope Wilton, who plays Mrs. Crowley, and Julian Fellows together, the writer, lead writer. I assume he wrote this part, but if not, whoever wrote this scene, I wish I could run into the two of them just having dinner somewhere, and I could just come up to them and say that the pure combustion of acting, writing, cinematography, ambient music, it all just came together to make something amazing. And I love that in this time period you have this strong woman character, this character that from the beginning has been one of the strongest, standing up for herself in terms of what she truly believes in. And I love how they don't spell it out for you directly. They just expect you to realize and empathize with this character over the fact that she's lost her son and she's still struggling with that day to day. And she doesn't want to marry him based on the fact that I believe is seated in him being at odds with his sons for the rest of their lives, for the rest of his life. And I just think that's such a minute little piece of the entire thing, but such an awesome little tidbit that, you know, they could have went on and thrown in about, you know, why she doesn't. They could have overemphasized that fact, but instead they just expect you to be smart. They expect viewers of the show to be intelligent and be able to follow along, and I I believe Downton Abbey viewers, like a lot of other premium cable shows, do have to have a higher level of intelligence to be able to follow along with these shows. It's not something you can just watch in the background while you're making dinner. I mean, you can, but you're going to miss the subtle nuances. And I don't know, I just really, I love that scene. I didn't take it as hard as Mrs. Crowley when she lost Matthew to the guest, but, you know, apparently she's still dealing with it however many years later this is. You know, that happened in, what, season 3, I think, and there's a lot of time between seasons. They don't exactly spell it out, but I want to say it's maybe been like 4 years, because I believe, yeah, their kid was a baby. Mary and Matthew's kid was a baby at that time, and now a bit older. So yeah, I mean, it's been a while, but I don't know, and I could be completely wrong. I don't think I am, but I like to believe that's the case. And you know, say what you will about Mrs. Crowley, yeah, she did start out as a little bit more of a annoying character at first, or at least I thought so, with her badgering Dr. Clarkson, except for the part where she saved that guy and stood up. Again, that was probably when I really realized that I liked her. But I don't know, she's strong, and this show has something to say about strong female characters. And I know that doesn't mean as much coming just from me, random, you know, bearded dude, crappily bearded dude. I'm trying to grow it out, all right? It's like really patchy, and this is like 2 months. I'm letting it go for 5 months. I know my mustache has probably been doing like crazy things on camera all day. But anyway, I know that might not mean much, or it might mean more coming from just a random guy, but I really love that this wholly original creation just showcases strong female characters, and I hope we get more of that in shows, because, you know, it's kind of boring having literally a whitewash of dudes just on screen and them being in the power positions. So that wraps up my top 10. I spent way too long in this logo. Yeah, I know it's Comic Sans. Whatever. Trying to bring it back, bring it cool again. I know it's not going to happen. And then much longer on this video than I probably should have. I'm not intending to be some sort of YouTube personality or, you know, make oodles of money off YouTube videos. But I was really inspired to make a video based around this episode. And on the off chance that anyone has watched this that worked on the show, acted in the show, wrote any hand you had at all in the show, if you just happen to be watching this, I just really want to thank you and say you've done an amazing job so far. And this show really is awesome. It made my Christmas a lot better, honestly. And I don't know, it's hard to pick out faults. I'm going to do a little bonus snippet at the end of one fault that really was glaring for me in this episode, but don't let it take away from the fact that this show is awesome, and I will adamantly defend it to people for the rest of time that are my current age and giving me shit for it when I post about it on Facebook, that you know, instead of Sunday nights watching football, you know, all about them Crowleys, that's just what I like. I don't know, a lot more interesting to me. Definitely the best timepiece that I've seen in this time period. And yeah, I can't wait to see what you bring on next. Wait. Why didn't we get to see the Jew dad going crazy on the butler? What the fuck? Seriously, like I was... Are you kidding me? Man.